Hello guys, OverBidden here. This is a gameplay footage of me playing Twisted Fate rank at about Platinum 4, Platinum 3. However, my MMR is a little bit higher than that. So the true skill level of this gameplay, it's about middle Platinum or even high Platinum, right? Okay, anyway, this is a rank game of me playing Twisted Fate. The reason that I'm playing Twisted Fate is that if you watched my last video, that I've climbed to Diamond this season 7, by playing Kassadin. But back then my Twisted Fate was pretty bad, and I always want to like practice and learn new champions. So here I am playing on one of my other accounts and doing Twisted Fate. So far I have a pretty good result, right? Decent KDA, decent win rate, and then yeah. So let's just jump straight to the game, okay? Alright, so in terms of team composition, right, we have two tanks. They have two tanks, mage, ADC with support, right? So it's pretty standard team comp. I wouldn't say like any team is stronger over the other team in terms of team composition. However, Kassadin is kind of a counterpick to TF, right? The advantage of TF, right? One of the advantages of TF is that I can gank early, right? You saw me ping this earlier, right? Because I can always I always level up W first, right? I always level up W first, so you know I have the potential to gank, right? Ask my team to come, tell them that I will be leading, so I will go in first, right? I always hate that players that just like Joffrey was staying there, and then like top laners just go there do nothing, and bot lane go there do nothing, right? Like, as you can see right now, we may not gain anything, but if we gain anything, it's free, right? And here I did something pretty interesting. I saw the Kassadin, right? Kassadin cannot see anything under the corner, or behind the corner rather. So before I pick a card, I walk into the corner, I pick a card, I walk in instantly out, we stun the Kassadin, right? This is really good, right? Without me doing that, Kassadin wouldn't walk up, right? Wayne did a pretty brave move, which forced Kassadin to flash. Soraka has the heal, so Soraka will be able to heal the Wayne up. So it's a huge win for me, right? Just because of that early invade, right? Don't be afraid to invade as long as you have all the team together, right? There's no reason not to. TF, right? Let's talk a little bit about landing phase. In terms of landing phase, TF versus pretty much anyone, especially for the ones that are weak early or they cannot damage you, right? They have no kill pressure over you. You want to push the wave up, right? You want to push the wave up and then make the opponent miss the CS. And how do you do that? You red card the caster minion at the very beginning, right? And once the melee minions are low, you can just pull a red card and instantly one-shot all three of them, right? Which is pretty good. Don't forget to auto-attack the Kassadin, and then after auto-attacking, you pull away, right? I have the Doran Shield because Kassadin's Q it's a pretty good harassing tool, and I cannot dodge that, right? For the skill shot matchups, I rather take a boots and 4 pots, right? Doran Rings start, it's a little bit more aggressive, but Doran Shield is for the matchup that you cannot dodge the harass, right? For example, here, right? If I do not have the Doran Shield, I will be eventually forced out of the lane sooner than I wanted to. Okay, at this one, I want to pause just for 1 second. First 2 waves, I have there are a total of 12 minions, right? I took 11. Kassadin only took 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can potentially get 9, but I highly doubt that. So I'm already having the advantage, right? Because the jungler will not be able to come until about, let's see how when the jungler finishes the buff, right? The jungler cannot gank until about like 250 for the faster killer junglers, right? So you want to take advantage of those the 2 waves, right? At this point, you see, as soon as he finished the blue buff, right, I warded right here because I knew that we had ward right here. So the enemy jungler can only do a red, and then the popular path right now is red, woof, and then blue, right? 250, I warded here. let's say he's not going there to do grumps, right? This is the only path for him to gank, right? He cannot gank here. This is too long, right? He has to go either from here or try to go from behind, right? You don't want to ward the bush, right? If you're only warding the bush, then you cannot see the path if he's like going from behind. So I warded there, right? Feel pretty safe. Keep pressuring the Kassadin, right? So early game, I'm like set because Kassadin has already burned teleport. All I need to do is just keep pushing him, like harass him when I can, and I will slowly build up my advantage, right? 14 by 8, right? Also, I'm playing, if you pay close attention, I'm playing closer to the other side of the ward, right? Because I know that, like, I'm 100% sure this Sejuani is gonna go from that side, right? As you can see right now, I saw her. I just hug the other side a little bit more, right? Wasting her time, right? He's not gonna do anything to me. I even warded the raptors rather, right? Wasting his time. At this point, draft 4 is farming. Draft 4 can be ganking top or farming, right? And the Sejuani is not achieving anything, right? So I know Sejuani can only be here or here. I mean, those two paths are warded. So push the wave, and then we saw that Sejuani is like being stupid. This is such a huge mistake, by the way, because usually you know that if the enemy junglers start at the top side, right? Top side junglers usually start blue, wolves, red, and then either raptors or the golems and gank top, like river, all that, right? So you know draft 4 is around here, and you know that your Kassadin is being pushed in, and then you do something like this, you are just gonna get sandwiched, right? And this is exactly what happened. I waited for draft 4 just a little bit, okay? So we sandwiched the Sejuani, although Sejuani flashed the draft 4 EQ combo. However, a yellow card, wild card, ignite, flash auto to finish, right? So as you can see, they are really mad at each other now, right? Kassadin is like pinning me saying Sejuani is like, what the hell, aren't you following? This is 100% Sejuani's fault, by the way. Okay, it's not middle doesn't follow, right? You see this matchup, right? If I play this matchup correctly, as TF, right, I will always pushing the Kassadin, right? And you saw that as the jungler Sejuani, right? You saw your middle is being pushed in. The middle cannot just pass the minion wave and then just like support you right here, because you are forcing the fight that you cannot win, right? Pretty lucky for me that I damaged the Kassadin a little bit more before the minion wave reaches the turret, and right now I can just zone away the Kassadin, right? Pretty good. Just keep pushing because I have blue buff, right? Sejuani just died, right? She tries to gank me, but I have TF. I have movement speed quintessences, and I also have yellow card, right? Pick a yellow card, casually works away, right? This is just... So far, Sejuani spent a lot of time mid already, right? She spent a lot of time mid already. She like tried to gank here, didn't work out. Tried to gank here, didn't work out, and then died right here, and then try to cover middle, right? So he did nothing, right, other than like spending time middle. However, what I want to talk about right here is that, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cast minions. The other side only has 1 cast minion. My minion wave is gonna push towards the enemy wave, right? And then the minion wave at the base will be right at here about 10 seconds later, right? Sejuani should freeze the wave for Kassadin right here, because Kassadin is behind, right? If she freezes the wave right here, she just stands here, tank the minion just a little bit. 4 Kassadin minions is not gonna do any damage, any significant damage at this time, right? You can freeze the minion wave right here. Kassadin, my minion is gonna... I'm gonna have more minions so that my minions will kill the blue minions faster than the blue minions kill my minions, which will cause me, TF, lose a lot of minions and in terms of gold and experience, right? This is a huge deal that is worth more than a kill, because if you freeze the minion right here, not only you gain the gold advantage, CS advantage for your Kassadin who is behind, you are also creating a situation that is easier for you to gank right here, right? You have you can gank from here, because I am forced to CS past the river or at the middle of the river, and Kassadin is like under the turret. However, this greedy jungler just reset the wave, right? So just totally screw up the Kassadin, right? This is just a terrible player, or he's just having a bad day or something, constantly making terrible decisions, right? That's the very first one. This is the second one. Resetting the wave. Resetting the wave, you are not denying me anything, you are not creating anything for the Kassadin, right? This is what we call like sacrificing a little bit of individual gold and experience for the greater good, right? And then this Sajani jungler just can't see that, right? At this point, I bought a catalyst and also a refillable potion. I don't have the gold to buy pink, otherwise I would have bought a pink. Catalyst is really strong because for those of you that don't know what catalyst does, can I show what catalyst is? Really? I can show everything, I cannot show catalyst. Anyway, whenever I cast a spell, I can regen a little bit of health. And then whenever I take damage, I regen a little bit of mana. So it's extremely strong item to buy for the champions that you can spend spells. However, this is what I call a counter matchup, right? Kassadin at this point can just harass TF a lot, right? And I don't have a lot of way to poke him back, honestly. And then he can easily set up the gank as well, right? He can easily set up the gank. He can just jump in slow, and then if the enemy jungler is here anywhere, like, and my jungler is not there to help, he can just kill me, right? Or burn my flash. And at this point, why I paused the video is that J4, he has okay amount of mana, right? He's not like running Ohm or anything, and he can regen mana, right? I have Catalyst, and Kassadin is harassing me, right? With blue buff, I can regen my health, right? I can further deny the Catalyst. Yeah, and then I also have my ultimate, right? My ultimate needs the cooldown reduction, so I can use my another ultimate after the first one, right? With me having blue, I can constantly push the wave, and I constantly like just walk here, disappearing. That's a lot of pressure for the enemy top laners, top lane and the bot lane, right? However, this J4 took blue, right? If you watch Korean mid laners, right? Even they are Katarinas, right? They're gonna take blue, and if your jungler doesn't give you the second blue, the Korean mid lane is just gonna range crit. It's not that they are selfish or anything. This is just for the greater good, right? Just what I talked about earlier for the Sajani. As you can see right now, the Kassadin is like playing really aggressive, and I'm like losing health. Although I have the little first blood advantage, but with the blue, I can spam my spells, right? I can spam my spells, and I can just regen my health, and I will also create a lot of my pressure, right? Instead, J4 is taking blue and masturbating, right? Not doing anything, right? And then also our bot lane is pushing in so much, which I don't like as a TF, right? I want them to push back a little bit. At this point, Sajani is trying to gank, but this is a second mistake that I want to talk about, because you saw J4 work middle, right? You saw J4 work middle, and J4 was kind of healthy, right? Yes, my health is kind of lower than the Kassadin, but there's J4, right? Very close by to middle, and then you have no health, right? You have about 40% of health. You jump me, what if you get counter gank? As a jungler, you always need to think, okay, yes, it may be a kill, yes, the Kassadin can set up the camp, but if you don't think about counter gank, right, you can say, oh, let's chunk the TF before the counter gank shows up. You at least should have enough health. As you can see, like right now, he even missed the ultimate. J4 got me inside, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, we just finished the kill, and I also got red buff, right? So 3 kills all on me now. Top lane died once, right? Is it 1v1? I think it's 1v1. Top lane is having a little bit of disadvantage. However, me just push the wave, go back. So the game is wide open for me now, right? I'm really strong, and I also have red buff, right? I think at that point I had 1.4k gold instead of 1.6k gold. If I had 1.6k, I would have been able to buy Rod of Ages. But then I just buy a non-magic mantle instead of a pink. I usually buy a pink, but because Kassadin, as you can see earlier, was harassing me, and I don't want to be forced to go back, or like too low, being harassed too low, and then not able to use ultimate to support other lanes. As you can see, like Kassadin used Q to harass me, and it's not hurting anymore, right? And then at this point, I asked my before I walk to lane, I type in the chat that I asked my bot lane to let them push a little bit, and then indeed they let the enemy bot lane to push a little bit, right? This is how where TF shines, right? You push the wave, you disappear for 1 second, Kassadin can ping, doesn't matter, too late, right? Out bottom, boom, stun the one that I can stun. Kassadin is doing the TP, trying to follow up, but we got another kill. Okay, anyway, I wanna replay this fight a little bit and then try to analyze what actually happened, right? So as you can see right here, they were engaging and the enemy wave is pushing. I pushed the wave, I saw that. I also regen a little bit of mana, and then I immediately go into my ultimate range. So I cast ultimate. While I'm casting the ultimate, I'm shuffling my cards, right? While I land it, because it's 1.5 seconds, you have enough time to shuffle your cards, right? Kassadin immediately use TP to follow, right? At this point, I don't know if it's like Mundo or Kassadin, right? Mundo can run us down, right? So what I did immediately after seeing the TP is that I walk backwards. But that's just me as a player, right? No matter how offensive I am, I'm always keep like 30% defense, right? And after walking back and analyze the situation, I then pick a yellow card, right? But Vayne doesn't give a crap about that. Just keep going in. So he killed a Lulu, right? And Vayne actually did pretty good here, right? He flashed and then condemned the Kassadin, right? That's like after me yellow carding the Kassadin, right? And then with me having a red buff and me constantly auto attacking the Kassadin, right? The Kassadin actually dropped pretty fast, right? And there I just double tapped my W because I only needed the damage, right? Any card can work because Kassadin is dying, right? It can be a yellow card, it can be a red card, it can be a blue card, right? I will be able to kill Kassadin, right? Double tap the card, pull out the card for the actual damage, kill the Kassadin, right? We traded 1 for 2, which is extremely good, right? Mundo is keep chasing, and then he's having ultimate, so you know. Because I'm on the turret, he can't chase any further, right? Because I have red buff, right? I have red buff, and I also have my my E passive, right? I'm trying to attack Mundo as much as possible. Okay, and then my mana is running a little bit low, 150. Now I regen back to 230. Okay, and Soraka is playing really well here, right? He's baiting the Mundo. Mundo trying to finish the Soraka off, but you know I have the yellow card right here. Boom, stun the Mundo. Couple of attacks, and then I'm taking a lot of minion aggros, but Soraka is healing me as well. So although I'm tanking everything, I am able to finish off the Ezreal. Pretty lucky there that I only needed damage, the same case as earlier, right? I double tapped the W. Although I only got a blue card, right? Because Ezreal was out of mana, so he wasn't able to arc and shift away my yellow card, right? And then the Soraka was able to heal me again, right? If the Soraka didn't heal me, then I would probably take a lot of damage and be very close to dying because of all the minion aggros, right? At that point, okay, I want to talk about one thing, right? You see me recalling because Vayne was walking towards land, right? I could wild card and then like red card to shove the wave to further increase my gold, but that will be at the expense of denying my Vayne's experience and gold. As a team player I am, right? I don't do that, right? I have enough gold for my Rod of Ages and Mercury Chest, right? And then also for Vayne to have a better experience and gold, right? I just recall, right? You see that like I have all that, like I don't do things that will hurt my teammates in order to further my stats, right? Like I talked about earlier, blue. I wanted that blue, and I think I should take that blue because it will be better off for the overall of our team, right? At this point, ideally, it should be the point that like Kassadin zones the TF player, and the TF player will be forced to make plays elsewhere, because Kassadin will be extremely strong. If I didn't get 6 kills, he will be able to zone me out. But instead, I was zoning the Kassadin out, right? Like shuffling cards, constantly work back and forth, right? Kassadin will not be able to walk up to auto attack, right? At the last hit the minions, right? And I'm trying to like maintain a good CS, right? As you can see, if Kassadin is like in the range of me yellow carding him, right? Thunderlord trade, right? I can like easily win the trade, and he's forced to use the refillable potion, right? See, I'm constantly like working back and forth, shuffling the cards. You don't have to lock in your cards like immediately, right? You just shuffling the cards, you create a lot of pressure for the opponent mid laners, right? As you can see earlier, the Kassadin was forced to use ultimate plus Q to last hit a cannon minion. Okay? The middle tower is pretty low, so I'm trying to damage the middle tower a little bit. Right? Also, the Kassadin keep shoving the wave so that my minion will be pushed under the turret. At this point, like when I watch the replay, I'm really surprised that this Mundo didn't just keep going, right? Because the middle tower is extremely low, Kassadin wasn't low. Imagine if Mundo is right here. Like even I can get the turret. If I saw the Mundo, right, if Mundo was there, I was gonna just trade the first blood turret and with my life, right? But it will be a shutdown goal. It's a huge shutdown goal. Instead, if you don't gank me, Mundo, I'm gonna gank you, right? I ping the top laner so many times, right? He died twice, but you know, it's okay. Payback time, right? Payback time, right? The Mundo's movement speed is 370. My movement speed is 390. That's 7. Plus I have Mercury Chest, so his slow is not gonna do anything to me, right? So that's a tiny mistake by Mundo. Okay. So I'm 7-0-1 now. In terms of CS, my CS is not that high because, as you saw earlier, I ultimate bottom, I ultimate top. That's my 2 ultimates, right? Though, which both gave us good results. And the price that I paid was that not a very good CS. Right? 14 minutes, 90 something. It's like, yeah, if you are ganking a lot, then it's an acceptable CS score, right? Before I go back, put down the pink, may able to buy something else. So I'm level 11. Okay, yeah, I have Shing, I have Wisp, and I also changed my yellow trinket to the Oracle lenses, right? You always want to have an Oracle, I think, especially in solo queue, right? Because you never know like when you're gonna do Dragon, when you're gonna do Baron, and then when you wanna like sweep around, right? I always have that. Okay, at this point, Kassadin is slowly building towards his Rod of Ages. However, I already finished my Rod of Ages, about 1k away from my Leech Band, and I also have the second tier boots. Kassadin is not very far behind in terms of CS, but he's the gold that I gain from kills are just too much, and also the first blood turret. Okay. Shoving the wave. At this point, all I want to do is just keep shoving the wave, and then because my ultimate is in cooldown, right? So I want to shove the wave and then walk towards either the bottom or the top. They gotta kill top. Mundo died. So I immediately pinged the Rift Harrow. Here's something that I want to talk about between the higher ERL players and the lower ERL players. I'm talking about like not so high, right? Platinum. Anybody that is like below platinum, like what's the difference? The main difference, obviously, there's the champion mastery, all that, but map movement is really you can see the huge difference between map movement, right? Right after we killed top, right, I immediately pinged people to come here to the Rift Harrow to do the Rift Harrow, because you know this is a snowball meta, right? Even it's not a snowball meta, snowball, the way to play around snowballing, yeah, it's always the correct way to play, and the Rift Harrow can like easily take down the top turret or the middle turret, so we can increase our lead, right? That's a very correct play. Maokai is TPing right here, right? Maokai is TPing right here. TPing right here will not necessarily gain you a kill, but with this many minions, you'll be able to take down the bottom turret by that TP, right? Even though this Maokai is a little bit behind, but you know, in terms of CS and kills, but he understands the map pressure, right? He understands how to build our lead and then further increase our lead, which is a sign of a decent player. Okay, and then we took out. I don't know. At that point, I was able to. I had the gold for Leech Band. I wanted the Harrow buff, but you know, the Joffrey just took it. I don't know. And then he flashed EQ, didn't get anything. Kassadin flash. I think I cast my ultimate. I don't know why he walked this way. Got chunked a little bit. He didn't die, but he got severely chunked. At this point, we knew that there are 3 people bottom. Mundo is top. Kassadin is chunked. So we know everybody's position, right? So Joffrey summoned the Rift Harrow, which is the correct play. Like further pushes our lead, right? Soraka somehow died here, but it doesn't really matter because Kassadin just back and they were stuck bottom and top. So this is another free turret, right? So that's a lot of turrets already. 3 turrets, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now what we should do is just to recall, right? Finish some items. As you can see right here, I sell the refillable potion. And then I bought a ping, right? You always want to have a ping, right? If let's say I don't have the refillable potion, I would sell my Doran shield, because like mid game, right? Mid game, like your Doran shield is not gonna do you anything, right? Your refillable potion is not gonna do as much as a pink. A pink is extremely important, even though I have a pink right here, right? I still have a pink, right? But not everybody does that. Okay, and that's another difference between the little things, non-mechanical things that can improve your gameplay, right? I don't know what this Sejan is doing. Like I have Rod of Ages, I'm fairly tanky. I have movement speed, I have Mercury Chest, I have defensive. You just waste your ultimate. Yeah, you just wasted your ultimate. And what do you get by wasting your ultimate? Yeah, you'll get destroyed. Yeah, I don't know what this Sejanni was doing. Like that's the 3rd major mistake that she made already, right? While playing from behind, right? The enemy team is pretty behind, right? How do you play from behind? You don't just blindly go aggressive, right? You don't force fight that is unnecessary when you don't have the advantage. When the Sejanni is like forcing the fight, she was alone, right? I was alone. There's no way that you're gonna kill me, right? You know what items you have. You know what items I have, right? You should have a fairly good understanding of if you can kill me or not, right? If you feel frustrated and you try to like force the fight, you are just gonna make your team further behind, right? That's just the worst way to play from behind, right? Instead, you should have saved your ultimate while we are like pushing the middle, right? You may win. Or you may get some trades, right? Yeah, use the ultimate right here, force the Israel to walk away from the base. However, the Joffrey died. I pick a red card there because I thought we're gonna have a bigger fight, or usually in the very crowded team fight, right? Red card can be just as good as yellow card because red card do AOE damage, right? The overall damage is gonna be more. However, if we are going for the pick, obviously yellow card is better than red card. But I thought that we're gonna like several enemies are gonna be like stay together. Okay. At this point, like Mido has nothing. I just ping my team to go away, right? Sometimes people don't think straight, right? There's nothing here. Yes, you have 3 people, but they have 4 people. Like, what's the point of staying here? Like, if you stay any longer, you may just die, right? Ping my team to go away. Like, go for the objectives, right? Which are the towers and Baron at this point. Okay, they just wasted some time, like, of doing nothing, right? Instead, they could have just worked together with me to take the tower. Okay. So after the turret, I have a lot of gold because we just opens up the middle, and then I just got another turret. I wanted to recall at this point, but Maokai is doing something interesting. So okay, I'm gonna go to help the Maokai. Yeah, this is something very interesting. This Joffrey took blue one more time away from me. I don't understand. Like, I am so far ahead. I made such great plays, map pressures around the map, right? Like, I am not gonna say that I won the game, like, but you know, first place because of my position, or that, and then the counter gank, or that. I'm not gonna like take credits, but like I think I deserve blue, especially at this point. You see that I'm low, right? There's zero reason for Joffrey to take this blue. Right, Joffrey actually didn't like give me too much support. He didn't give me the second blue. He didn't give me the hero. He didn't give me this. I don't know what's wrong with the players in online, right? Maybe like people watch so many chill junglers, streamers. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna take everything. As you can see, I did something quite interesting here. I didn't know if the enemy blue bush is warded, so I walk to the shadow, and then I pick a card, and then I walk out again. Do you want to see it again? And I also did the same thing when we level 1 Kassadin, right? Just watch that again. Like tiny little things like this can go a long way. It didn't help this time. You see, I walk towards here and I pick a card and then I walk out, right? As soon as the Mundo sees me, he's already being stunned, right? He's being stunned again, being knocked up. Flash away, doesn't matter because I cast my ultimate, force Mundo out of the base, just casually kills him, right? Like you see right here, I can't force anything anymore, right? I could have went Baron, right? If I had the blue, right? Well, you can say I can like yellow card, I mean blue card and a regen or anything, but you know. Like blue on Joffrey, like he's just masturbating with the blue, right? He's not doing anything. Yeah, what's the point of having blue on the jungler at this point? But anyway, we got Baron, which is pretty good. Maokai was distracting the enemy team a little bit, and then Sajani flashed. So the Sajani just charge in, flash, and ultimate. So he's really tilted at this point. He doesn't even care anymore, right? But Maokai did a mistake. Like he didn't see the position of our team. He flashed away as well. But you know, little things like that that you cannot control. That always happens in solo queue and just. Makes this game very uninteresting, right? But anyway, at this point we just won the game from here. We have Baron buff, Maokai has TP, we're really strong. I think some of the enemy teams, the enemy team already gave up. Okay, hope you like this video, right? Let me know if you want to see more, right? My KDA is really good. Even on the way I climbed to Diamond, on my first account. On my second account, I will have a pretty good KDA as well. So very good games, very classic games like this will happen quite a lot. Let me know if you wanna watch more games like this. Let me know. How do you like my commentary? Too much? Too little? Okay? Just let me know. Give me a like or not. Alright? And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Alright, peace.